guys, we're back talking some more of the Wheel of Time this week with the 5th episode. As someone who is not familiar with the source material, this is my brand new experience with the Wheel of Time. Last week's episode, episode 4, I think was my personal favorite among the episodes that we have, because everything in it was just so crazy. In particular, the final portion of the episode with Logain's army attacking, the Aes Sedai facing off against Logain, and Nynaeve channeling, which really helped them get the upper hand towards the end with Logain. After all the hype and excitement towards the end of last week, we do have a much more somber opening in episode 5, since this is following the aftermath and we're burying all of those that were killed in the battle and paying respects to them. Out of everyone here, you can really feel Stepin's sadness the most, not just in this one segment throughout the entire episode, because you really do feel him still reeling from losing his Aes Sedai and reminiscing about her, and the fact that he doesn't want to be a warder for someone else. I think it's a great showcase, especially for someone who is not familiar with the source material and still trying to learn everything, kind of showcasing the bond that a warder and the Aes Sedai have with each other, because that's something that I'm new with as someone who doesn't read the source material. The time jump after the opening was a little bit of a surprise, as we jump 1 month ahead in time, so I guess that's how long it took for all of them to make it to the White Tower. Almost everyone's converging once again: Moiraine, Rand, Mat. The only ones that don't get there is Perrin and Egwene. They get so close though, but they are stopped by the White Cloaks. I'm not a big fan of these Children of the Light. They are such evil characters, which is their job, of course, but I know anytime that they're on screen, they're just a lot of trouble. They continue to live up to that horrible reputation, though, attacking the Duatha An and ultimately capturing Perrin and Egwene in the process. I felt a little bit bad there because everyone was so close, and Perrin and Egwene were so close, but they got taken away. When it comes to the city itself, and we do get to showcase it leading up to the White Tower, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know how book accurate it is, but I liked how it looked. We mainly get glimpses of the city through Rand and Mat's eyes, since everyone else is pretty much occupied as Nynaeve is being hidden by Moiraine. Out of everyone, I feel the most bad for Mat because he's still in really bad shape after everything that happened a month ago with the family being murdered by the Fade, because he blames himself for it. And it never really looks like in this episode that he's getting any better, because it's been such a long period of time, and even when Nynaeve eventually gets to see him, he's still acting very strange. Apparently in this 1 month time jump, Thom actually died, which I was not happy about because I like the character a lot. Would have liked to have seen that, but apparently he's dead somewhere. I mean, R.I.P. Maybe Thom's death is one of the things that factored into why Mat feels this way, just it was off screen. It isn't compounded though by the fact that Logain is arriving in the town being captured by the Aes Sedai, the people are throwing stuff at him, but when Logain looks up and sees Mat, he starts laughing hysterically, which leaves him absolutely shook in the process, making pacts with Rand afterwards. And we aren't really introduced to too many new characters in this episode, but the one new character we are introduced to is the real MVP in my eyes. I love this character. I hope that we see more of him and it's not just a one-off kind of thing. It's this Ogier that meets Rand when they're in the library. Now, he's not in very many scenes or anything, but he's just a charming character filled with a lot of wisdom. He even assists Rand and Mat into briefly reuniting with Nynaeve. Speaking of Nynaeve, after that amazing display of power last week, I'm really liking that Moiraine is doing her best to try and contain Nynaeve, mentor her, but also help her try and embrace her abilities in the process. Since, as we learn as time goes on, that once they figure out that Nynaeve is here and how powerful she is, they're going to want her to become a novice and then choose which color she's inevitably going to end up being, which is a big debate that we do see later on in the episode between Liandrin and Moiraine. Since for some reason Liandrin thinks she's going to pick red of all of the colors, like, I'm trying my best to learn all the different colors. I kind of have the gist down, especially after it was explained in this episode. I don't feel like she would be red. I mean, Liandrin's been kind of sketchy, at least in the time that we have seen her so far, so I don't really know what her true motivations are. But based around the knowledge that I do know, I wouldn't expect Nynaeve to pick red of all of the colors that are laid out in front of her. When we inevitably do pan back to Perrin and Egwene, it is a better part of the episode. Not for them, though. They are still both tied up and they're going to be tortured, but I do think their sequences are the most exciting portions of episode 5. Last time we saw Child Valda, we did get glimpses of just how terrible he can be, but in this episode it really showcases just how much of a menace he is. Not only does he have Perrin and Egwene strapped down, but we also see the collection of rings that he's collected from killing Aes Sedai, making some horrifying ultimatums between the two of them, telling Egwene either she channels and he kills her and lets Perrin go, or if she doesn't channel, she gets to go free, but Perrin has to die. Not really a win-win situation there. Being someone that is a novice to the material, I don't know exactly what it means when Perrin's eyes go gold, but I do think it's a really cool ability, and I feel like it is linked to, of course, the wolves as we see them spring into action and tear apart the camp. I do recall the several other times in previous episodes where Perrin has had interactions with wolves, so if by chance that is his main ability, these wolf powers, I mean, that's pretty awesome, I think. Since these White Cloaks are so terrible, it was satisfying seeing the wolves tear them apart as Egwene starts to channel, they get to escape. Personally, if it were me, I would have made sure that Child Valda was actually stabbed to death and didn't get back up, but they kind of just leave him there after they stab him in the back and run away. I don't know, that's just me. After so many various episodes of the Wheel of Time this year leaving me hyped and excited by the end, this week it actually took a turn because this time I left like just emotionally drained. This end portion of the episode was so sad. Everything with Stepin's character has been very emotional all throughout the episode, and we have one final conversation between him and Lan, and then they go to sleep. And then unfortunately Lan wakes up to find Stepin has killed himself, so we spend the last portion of this episode mourning his death, like just really emotionally just pulling on my heartstrings because he was such a cool character, then just have your heart ripped out by the end with this episode. I mean, R.I.P. All around, what a gut-wrenching episode this week. I still had a lot of fun with this episode. I don't think it's as good as the last episode, but I still was enthralled through watching it all. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of the 5th episode of The Wheel of Time? Do you like the episode, not like the episode? Share all your thoughts down below. It's part of the fun of having that conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Also, if you're a book fan, let me know if it's accurate or not, because I found out last week that apparently episode 4 was kind of just like an off-screen thing in the book. So I'm liking to see the differences between the source material and the series. But thank you guys so much for checking my reviews. I do appreciate it. Be sure to like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. The next time, I'll see you guys later.